and in this video we are going to do an email audit that will reveal why you are leaving a shit ton of money on the table. And look, if the email isn't driving anywhere around 30 to 45% of your email revenue, you're basically lighting money on fire. And I can prove that in the next 10 to 20 minutes, because I'm going to show you the exact 3-part audit that we run at Mailvora, my email marketing agency, for every e-commerce brand that we audit or come through our doors. So same audit every single time, and it takes anywhere around 15 to 20 minutes, and it instantly reveals where you're bleeding revenue. So what's up everyone, I'm Tushar and I'm the founder of Mailvora.com, if you don't know that already. And I have helped few e-commerce brands scale their email revenue from 15 to 20% to more than 40%, and that is without spending more on ads. And today I'm pulling back the curtain and showing the exact diagnosis process that we use in our agency. No fluff, and just the 3 things that determine whether your email system is revenue engine or a leaky bucket. But before we dive in, this is something that you need to understand about e-commerce in 2026. You cannot convert cold traffic anymore, at least profitably. So think about it, right? Customers today are bombarded with ads, AI generated content, paid influencer posts, UGC, and they're more skeptical than ever because scams does happen, right? So they won't just hand over their credit card to brands that they've never heard of. So you need to cross what I call the trust threshold, the point where someone trusts you enough to actually buy from your brand. So every touch point earns trust points. Every ad they see, every social post they see, every email eventually helps them to cross that threshold. But here's the problem, right? If you're using only paid ads to get people across the threshold, your customer acquisition cost would go through the roof. You're probably breaking even or losing money on your first purchases as well. So that's where email is very cheap, predictable way to push people across that threshold without burning more cash on ads. So if your email system is broken, you're just paying more to acquire customers and converting very few of them. So that's where these 3 checks matters, and let's just jump into it, right? So check number 1, list growth. This is where most brands completely fall apart before they even send a single email, because you're paying for the traffic, whether that's through ads, influencer content, whatever, right? Your pop-up is a tool that captures that leads, those people who you can eventually nurture them into customers, right? So if your pop-up sucks, every visitor who doesn't convert right then and there just disappears forever. So you paid them to get there, but then you got nothing in return. So you are losing money. So first and foremost, for the brands that we audit, we look for the pop-up conversion rate. So bare minimum, your pop-up should be converting at 5 to 8% of the visitors. That's like the baseline. I would say 5% is the baseline. So if you're anywhere under 5%, your pop-up isn't working, it's broken. Now, if you have a warm audience, like you're driving traffic from organic social, email referrals, or you have a strong brand presence, you should be hitting 10 to 15%, even 20% in some cases. So how you can go and find this tab inside of Klaviyo? What you can do is go to the Klaviyo and click on sign up forms, then select your main pop-up, then click view analytics, and you'll see the conversion rate right there. If it's under 5%, we need to fix it. You can see it right here. This is where you can find it, under website sign up form. And now you're wondering, yes, I know that the pop-ups aren't converting, but what actually makes it convert? So number 1, a strong offer, right? You need a strong offer, not just a 10% off, because everyone does that. You can try a mystery discount, that's a new angle. You can try a free gift with the purchase, early access to drops, or any valuable guide that you can provide, because you need to give them a real reason to care. Number 2, proper timing. Show it between 4 to 12 seconds after they've landed. Too fast and they haven't seen anything, too slow and they're already bouncing. So number 3, single request. Ask for email first and SMS on a separate step. Don't overwhelm people by asking their name, their date of birth, their email, and their SMS on a single step. Number 4, very obvious, but like make it big, not some tiny corner banner they can just easily ignore. Full screen or like large size, or like just make it impossible to miss. Number 5, minimal copy. Nobody's going to read a big ass paragraph. You need to have a 1 clear headline and 1 benefit and a 1 single CTA. Metric number 2 that we usually see, subscriber to unsubscribe ratio. For every 3 subscribers, you should have no more than 1 unsubscribe. That's like 3 to 1 of a ratio. That is a minimum. So if you're at 2:1 ratio or any worse, you're either attracting low quality subscribers or annoying your list so much that they're leaving faster than they're growing. So how you can find this? Go inside of Klaviyo, go to analytics, check your list and segment section, and check your net growth over the last 30 days. Compare new subscribers to unsubscribed, and you will find it. And if the ratio is weak, fix this before you try to send more emails, because you need to stop the bleeding first, right? Alright, so that's check number 1. But pop-up needs to be converting at a mere minimum of 5 to 8%, and sub to unsub ratio needs to be at least 3:1 that we have talked about, right? So now let's move to the check number 2 that we, and this is where I see the biggest missed opportunity in e-commerce. Most brands are terrified of sending too many emails, so they send maybe 1 or 2 per week, and then they wonder why email is only drives 20% of the entire revenue. And this is a frequency reality. Sorry to break it to you. Most people miss most of your emails, and you can think about your own inbox, right? How many emails do you actually open? Maybe 20 to 30% of what you receive. So if you're only sending once or twice a week, you're basically invisible inside of customers' inboxes. So you should be sending anywhere around 3 to 4 emails per week minimum. And if you're doing 1 to 10 million a month in revenue, your list is growing strong, like 4 to 1 ratio or 5 to 1 sub ratio. You should ramp up that to 5 or 7 emails per week. I know it sounds crazy, crazy. Won't people unsubscribe? Again, some will, but here's what matters, right? Revenue. We have tested this across dozens of brands. When you increase from 2 to 4 emails per week, unsubscribe rate might go from 0.2 to 0.3 or 4%, but that is barely noticeable, right? Because revenue goes up to 40 to 50% because you're actually staying visible in people's inboxes. And now let's talk about the segmentation rule. And this is pretty critical rule here, right? Don't send to dead weighted list. Stop sending to people who haven't opened emails in more than 90 days or 120 days, like, because they are killing your deliverability and tanking your open rate. You can create what we call an engagement section. So anyone who's opened or clicked an email in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you should send your campaign only to them, because that they are your warmest leads. So this protects your sender reputation and keeps your metric healthy. And let's talk about the creative mix here. So quick note on that, we use what we call 75-25 ratio. 75% of your emails should be well designed product emails, clean layout, strong visuals, and clear CTAs, the design emails, and 20% of should be text based, pattern interruption, plain text emails that look like a personal message coming from someone from the team or the founder, because these gets insane open rates because they don't like marketing, right? It feels like a friend teaching up to them. And the 5% should be original concepts, right? Wild ideas, experiments, creative tasks. If there's an idea that you might want to implement, do that. And this is a mix that keeps your audience engaged and prevents pattern based spamming filter. So how you can check this? Go to the Klaviyo campaigns and count how many have you sent in the last 30 days. Divide by 4, and that's your average email per week. And if it's under 3, you're leaving serious money on the table. I can't stress this enough. Send more emails, guys, and you'll make more money. And all right, so that's check number 2, campaign frequency. But you should be sending anywhere around 3 to 4 emails per week minimum to your engagement section. More if your list is growing strong. And now we can talk about the third check, flow quality. This is one that shocks people the most, because most brands completely underinvest in their flows while overinvesting in their campaigns. And here's the thing, right? Depending upon the brand, 50 to 70% of your total revenue, email revenue, should come from flows, not campaign flows. Flows are automated, they run 24/7 while you sleep, and they trigger based on behavior. They convert people when they are most ready to buy, so they're important. But most brands have weak, incomplete flows, and then they wonder why email it doesn't drive revenue. So these are the core flows that you need in your email marketing funnel. Number 1, welcome flow for the new subscribers, of course. Number 2, abandonment cart for the people who added to cart but did not buy. Number 3, abandoned checkout for the people who started checkout but did not finish. There's a difference between abandoned cart and abandoned checkout. I've talked about that so many times, so check out my previous videos, you'll understand everything about that. Number 4, browse abandonment for the people who just viewed products but didn't add to cart. Number 5, post purchase for people who just bought to drive repeat purchases. You can sell them up any like you can basically upsell them. Number 6, win back for customers who haven't purchased in 60 to 90 days, or depending upon your customer cycle, depending on how people use your product, you need win back flows. So these are the 6 flows that should exist in every single e-commerce account, no exceptions, right? Obviously we can go in more depth and add a lot of segmentation and blah blah blah, but these are the 6 that you need to have. These are the basics. Now let's talk about the length problem, and here's what most brands screw up, right? They have 1 or 2 emails in each flow. That's not enough, guys. Every flow should have minimum of 3 emails. Your welcome flow should have 4 to 5. Why? Because one email isn't enough to build trust, right? And overcome objections and drive a purchase. You need multiple touch points, like showcasing some reviews, the offer that you have provided, the incentive, and the brand story, yada yada yada. And now you might be wondering, yes, we get it, Tushar, but what does a good email flow look like, right? So first, it needs to have urgency. You can add countdown timers for offers, stock scarcity, and limited time messaging. So that's the urgency angle. Second, personalizable, the dynamic content. Show them the exact product that they abandoned, not some generic recommendation. So for example, if they have abandoned creatine, you will not show them whey protein. So that's like completely different. Number 3, social proof, reviews, UGC testimonials, because that helps to remove any doubt that they have in their mind. Number 4, multiple CTAs. Don't bury your CTA at the bottom, right? Put it at the hero, in the section, middle, and the footer, every single layer. And how you can check your flows, go to Klaviyo, again, inside of flows tab. Click on each flow that I mentioned, if you have them, or whatever flows that you have. Count how many emails are in the sequence. If your core flows, the basics, have fewer than 3 emails, you're leaving money on the table. And if you're missing one of these 6 core flows entirely, you're leaving even more money on the table. So let's get these 3 checks: and list growth, campaign, flow quality. And let me give you some benchmarks so you know what good actually looks like. For list growth, pop-up conversion rate should be at 5 minimum, and it can go up to 20 plus if you have bomb traffic and your ads are just like great. And subscriber to unsubscribe ratio should be 3 to 1. Minimum 4 to 5 is the ideal, like the best. Campaign benchmarks, the sending frequency should be 3 to 4 emails per week. That's like the baseline. If you're a smaller brand, maybe not do that, but if you're like above 500k a month, you should do that. And 5 to 7 per week for high growth brands. If you're doing more than 1 million, you should do that. And the open rate should be, for the engaged segment, more than 30%, I would say, ideally. And the click rate should be anywhere between 2 to 5%. 5% is like very high, so it's good. And now regarding the flows benchmark, minimum 3 emails per flow, 4 to 5 for welcome flow specifically. And flow should drive anywhere 50 to 70% of your total email revenue, and Welcome Flow should convert at a rate of 8 to 15%. Now, what about the overall performance, right? Email should drive anywhere around 30 to 40% of your total store revenue, and if you're under 30%, there's like a major issue somewhere in the system, so that is easily fixable. Recap for you. So the 15-minute audit that we run on every single brand is: check 1, list growth, is your pop-up converting, is sub to unsub ratio healthy? Check number 2, campaign frequency, are you sending enough campaigns to the engaged segment? Check number 3, flow quality, do you have core flows built with enough emails in each sequence? We fix these 3 things and your email will drive more than 30 to 40% of your email revenue. Ignore them and you will keep wondering why everyone else seems to be crushing it with email while you're stuck at 15 and below 20%. And if you want us to run this exact audit on your account and your own e-commerce brand, show you exactly where you are leaving money on the table, for that you can head to mailvora.com and book a free strategy call, and the link will be inside of the description as well, so it's easy for you. And we'll go through your Klaviyo account live and identify the gaps and give you a game plan to fix them, whether you work with us or not. So you'll have something to walk away with. Link is in the description, and if you got any value from this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I drop new email marketing videos and breakdowns every single week, so I'll see you in the next one.